Kitty Price here, Cathedral Reader and Minstrel the dog, delivering this week's highlights, or rather a variation of them, because I can't remember them word for word. As a teacher, it's absolutely wonderful to be back at school and to feed off the energy that you get from the pupils. It's a good reminder of why we do our jobs. Despite the success of online learning, it's not the same as being in the classroom. Though having spent several months away from school, hanging out with the dog and teaching via the computer, I got used to some silence, I got used to peace and quiet. And so I'm finding everything a little bit noisy, a little bit too noisy. It's a bit ironic given that I'm such a noisy person. Silence often makes people uncomfortable because they're not used to it. But it is actually very good for you. Jesus prayed in silence and on his own, and so we should too. It's a way of letting God speak to us. It's a way of listening to God. It's not an absence of activity. It's not an absence of noise. It is an activity in itself. Silence takes discipline, it takes practice. The 16th century Spanish priest and mystic, St. John of the Cross, wrote, "The Father spoke one word, which was his Son, and this word he always speaks in eternal silence, and in silence must it be heard by the soul." In the monastic tradition, there is a lot of silence. Prayer and mealtimes can be in silence. And during meals, often there's a passage from the community's rule of life, or a Christian thinker, or the Bible, read to the assembled company. In the French Alps at Chartreuse, the Carthusian monks spend the vast majority of their time in silence. They are allowed to speak to each other once a week, and once a year they are allowed to see their families. Now, that's a little bit too much silence for me. I am a bit too chatty for that. But it shows the importance of taking some time, of being able to hear that small voice of calm, of being able to echo the silent music of God's praise.